where the state is ushering in a new iteration of Jim Crow. If athletes stop going to the Tennessees and the Louisiana, the top tier athletes, ESPN and presidents of schools, chambers of commerce would start having conversations.
And they need to be public about why they're doing it.
Right.
You know, the other thing that occurred to me yesterday was how can the NFL send the Super Bowl to a Jim Crow state like Tennessee after what's going on here, intentionally diluting majority black Memphis with white power?
I think we have to be clear that the only time they like black bodies are when they're entertaining them or when they're on a sports field. Boycott and encourage conventions to not come to Tennessee and to Louisiana and Alabama. Telling people to go vote is not going to work because they've diluted the black vote. And so we have to think of more creative strategies to put a pressure point on them and to make it painful where it matters in economics, in the money.
I think if these 4 and 5-star athletes, they need to understand they are contributing to a system that only wants to erode the situations they have. If you can't run in a state, you shouldn't run in a state. Bring money and resources into a state that is only determined to use those resources to further erode the rights of people that look like you. Black women voted at 92.6%. Their sons and daughters are the ones that are being courted by these schools. It's a simple message. I can't send my child to somewhere where they can't have a political stake. And I don't understand why an athlete would go to a school where the state is ushering in a new iteration of Jim Crow. If athletes stop going to the
Honey, everybody keep asking, why folks so mad? Why people so angry about Texas right now? Like, we just woke up mad for no reason. Are you kidding me? No. People are angry because we watch a black city get carved up right in front of our face, and then we was told to just calm down about it, to be civil about it afterwards. Honey, D.L. Hughley, protect that brother, y'all. Protect that brother. Honey, he said something a lot of people been feeling. We've been feeling this shit right here, but we've been scared to say that out loud. He basically said, stop helping build up systems that are openly working against us, y'all. And honestly, D.L. Hughley is right. How many times black people gotta keep on proving our values to places that only respect us when we entertain them, huh? They love our music, y'all. They love our touchdowns. They love our dunks when we playing basketball. They love our culture, our music. They can't get enough. Can't stop, won't stop listening to us. They love our rhythm. Honey, they even love our pain when they can make money off of it. But the second black communities try to hold political power, suddenly the rules change. Suddenly they want to redraw the maps. Suddenly Memphis is getting sliced up like a goddamn pie at a family reunion. Why? Because too many black people are gathering together, and somehow that means trouble in paradise. Let me tell y'all something. People keep acting like this is just politics. No, this is about control. And D.L. Hughley, honey, he touched a nerve because he said the quiet part out loud. If these schools and these states make millions and billions off of our black athletes, these are our black kids. They make billions off of our black athletes, our black culture, our black labor, our black attention, and our black spending power. Then, hello, maybe black families need to stop handing over their bodies. Stop it. We're not going to take our kids and just hand our kids' bodies over to them, hand over our talents over to them. No, we're not doing that anymore. And honey, let me tell you something. These dollars, honey, that's what they want. Dollars for free. While getting politically disrespected behind the scenes. That's what we getting. We are getting disrespected, y'all. Behind the scenes, while they getting all this stuff for free. That conversation scares a lot of people because it shifts the battlefield from voting booths to money. See, These politicians can ignore your outrage. You over there picking and pocketing and protesting. They can ignore all that. They can ignore your hashtags. They can ignore y'all getting up on the internet, hoofing and puffing and doing all this. They can ignore your speeches. But baby, they cannot ignore them empty stadiums. Hello. They cannot ignore the loss of sponsorships. They cannot ignore the 5-star recruit saying, nah, we good on y'all. Nah, we good on y'all. They cannot ignore conversations refusing to come. They cannot ignore the conventions refusing to come out there. They cannot ignore that. They cannot ignore tourists staying home. They cannot ignore that, y'all. They cannot ignore boosters panicking because the money done dried up. They done dried up. They won't ignore that. They can't ignore that. They can ignore us being on the internet. They can ignore us protesting, but they can't ignore that money, honey. That's the language America has always understood. Money. That's the language of America. Money. And let's tell the truth, Black folks. Honey, we already knew that in our spirit. A lot of these institutions love Black performance more than Black freedom. Hello. They love Black celebrity more than Black political power. They love Black bodies on football fields, but get real uncomfortable when Black communities start organizing economical or demand representation. They don't want to hear that. That's why this Tennessee situation, it hit people emotionally. Memphis is not just a random city. Memphis carries history. Memphis carries blood. Memphis carries pain. Memphis carries Dr. King's final footsteps. So when people see that city politically diluted and broken apart, hell yeah, it feels personal. It is personal. It feels effing intentional, and we all know it is. Then folks want to gaslight us Black people, and act like we just imaginating things. We just making shit up in our head. No, baby. People are reacting because these are patterns. And before somebody scream, stop making everything about race. Stop making everything about race. Understand something. If race didn't matter, they wouldn't work this hard to rearrange districts when Black voters have influence. Nobody spends this much energy trying to weaken something that supposedly does not matter. Wake up, people. Wake it up. D.L. Hughley ain't telling people to hate nobody. He is saying stop rewarding the system that openly disrespects your political existence. That's different. And Black parents especially need to hear this conversation because every year these universities come smiling for Black talent. They promise dreams, they promise exposure, they promise glory. Meanwhile, some of these same political systems are working overtime, making sure the communities those athletes come from stay weakened and divided. That right there, that's the contradiction. It's that people are finally getting tired of that shit. And the most dangerous things happening is right now, honey, we need to be aware. We need to be aware because once people start connecting economics to politics, the entire conversation is going to change. That's what scares them.